Good afternoon. We'll now start. First of all, I would like to welcome everybody to this pep talk this afternoon. Please mute yourself, but always show your video picture. Sign in your name, your Facebook account, or email address in the chat box. Please include the names of companions attending with you. Use the chat box to ask questions and make comments while the pep talk is on. There, there will be group pictures at the start and end of the pep talk, so please show your faces in the video. As a reminder, after the pep talk, please take the online Learning Cum Evaluation Test exercise or OLETE for mastery of learning and have a perfect score to get a certificate like the one shown here. I have placed the link in the chat box. Another reminder, obtaining 25. It used to be 50, now it's 25 OLETE certificates will entitle one mentee to a voucher for a RO Hoson medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. So 25 is enough to qualify one mentee to a voucher. Another request, please type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. Let's now have a group picture taking before we start the pep talk proper in 2 minutes. Please show your beautiful faces on the video. Ready? Once, okay. Last call. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I have a patient empowerment program in which I like to empower the lay people or patients to take control in the management of their health. I started the pep talk on May 15, 2021 during the COVID-19 pandemic. There are 3 courses in the pep talk. I completed the core course on October 9, 2021. So this shows the content of the core course. And then from October 23, 2021 onwards, I've been tackling health disorder, showing the samples of the courses under health disorder, and also health issue courses. Sample of the courses under this topic, this category. May 18, 2024, that's today, marks the start of year 4 of the RO Hoson Pep Talk. How long the pep talk will last will depend on our enthusiasm, discipline, and perseverance. My pep talk today is entitled Breast Cyst and Fibrocystic Changes. The empowerment objective is for the lay people to have an essential understanding of breast cysts and fibrocystic changes as part of their health management. The contents of this pep talk will be the following: what is a breast cyst? What are fibrocystic changes? How to recognize and diagnose breast cyst and fibrocystic changes? What and how to feel when given a diagnosis of breast cyst and fibrocystic changes. Before I go on any further, I'd like to make a disclaimer that this pep talk contains my thoughts, opinions, perceptions, opinions, and recommendations, or what I call TPORs, called from personal experiences as well as from writings from other health professionals. Let's start with the first topic. What is a breast cyst? Simply defined, a breast cyst is a cyst arising from the breast. But what is a cyst? A cyst is a fluid-filled sac. Ibig sabihin nun, yung content nun, fluid, you can say tubig, fluid, okay? It can be any color as long as it's not blood red, okay? It can be parang water, transparent. It can be white, it can be green, it can be gray, okay? So breast cyst is a fluid-filled sac, okay? So this shows the fluid inside the sac. And then this another illustration of the breast. So the skin, the fat cells, and then the nipple, the milk ducts, and then the lobules. These are the ones producing the milk during pregnancy and lactation. And then here is an illustration of a sac that contains fluid. So this is a breast cyst. Okay. A cyst can be microcyst or macrocyst. So the difference between the two is one is micro, one is macro. A microcyst is one that is too small. Yun ang pinakamaliit, sobrang liit to be felt, too small to be felt, but can be detected on imaging procedures, particularly ultrasound. The size is usually less than 1 centimeter, and it is usually associated with lumpy or bumpy breast. A macrocyst naman, macro ito, kanina micro, macrocyst is one that is large enough to be felt, usually 1 centimeter or bigger. Yung 1 centimeter usually cut off yung sa nakakapa o hindi. Kung nakakapa kahit na 1 centimeter, we call that macrocyst already. But if it's 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 4 centimeters, all the more we call it macrocyst. So the macrocyst is usually felt as a dominant mass. Parang talagang bukol na nakakapa. Yung sa microcyst, hindi mo makakapa yun, no? So ang makakapa lang natin, yung irregularity of the breast tissue. Okay. What the exact cause of a breast is not yet known. However, it is usually theorized, hypothesized to be associated with hormonal changes. It is said to be commonly seen in women 30 to 50 years old. It can disappear and become less common during the menopausal stage. Yes, kaya ang theory noon, these are due to hormonal changes. Okay. And then it can be more common in menopausal women taking hormonal replacement therapy. Okay. So disappearing or less common during menopause because, as I said, ang theory doon is due to hormonal changes. Ganon din sa mga menopausal taking hormonal replacement therapy. Okay. So magkakaroon ng effect na rin sa breast, yung hormones. That's why it can form breast cyst. Breast cysts can be classified into 3 types, usually based on ultrasound. Based on ultrasound, kina-classify ito. No? So sa kapa, hindi mahirap i-classify into these 3. But based on ultrasound, it's classified as simple cyst, meaning it contains purely fluid, puros tubig lang, fluid lang, walang solid component. Complicated cyst, it contains fluid pero may with debris floating in the fluid but no solid component. Complicated cyst. Complex cyst, it contains both fluid and solid component. So there's a component that is solid and then there's component of fluid in that particular cyst. Complex cyst. Now, in terms of risk for breast cancer in these 3 types of cysts, simple cyst, practically none. Okay. And then complicated cyst also practically none. But when you have a report of complex cyst, there's a higher risk for cancer, but it's only about 20% only. Okay. So mas nakakatakot yung report of a complex cyst. Pero kung simple cyst, complicated cyst, walang takot for risk for breast cancer. Now, from here on, I will be discussing simple cyst. So when we say simple cyst, when we say breast cyst, and from this point on, we will be referring to the simple cyst, one that contains purely fluid and no solid component. But you can ask questions on the other types later on. Now, what is the key information on the breast cyst? It may be microcyst or macrocyst, as mentioned earlier. It may be one or multiple, either in one breast or in the two breasts. But 99%, these are non-cancerous or benign. Okay, there's no such thing as 100%. When you say 99%, it approaches 100% na rin. So 99% do not become cancer. Okay? So not cancerous, it's benign, and it does not become cancer. These are common questions being raised by the lay people. Usually hypothesized to be hormonal changes related, and more frequent in 30 to 50 years old females, rare and may disappear during menopausal stage, more frequent in postmenopausal women taking hormonal replacement therapy. Majority are asymptomatic. Wala nararamdaman, walang sakit, walang bukol, okay? But some may have breast pain. Some may have yung masakit ang breast because of the distension of the fluid on the cyst. Macrocysts are discoverable by palpation. As I said, it's present as a dominant mass. But whereas microcysts are not palpable, just lumpy, ang humpy, irregular breast surface lang makakapa natin. Now, ultrasound is the most reliable tool in detecting microcysts and macrocysts at the moment. Okay, ultrasound, pwede na. No? Now, as to the treatment, for microcysts, no treatment is necessary. Just watch and wait, then monitor. The microcysts may disappear oftentimes, or they may increase. It may decrease, it may increase. They may increase in size to become macrocysts. Okay? But even if it becomes a macrocyst, the treatment is still practically the same. Do watch and wait if asymptomatic and small. As I said, small, it can be 1 centimeter but palpable. Pwedeng obserbahan lang, or 1.5 or 2 centimeters, obserbahan lang. Okay. If symptomatic with pain, kung masakit siya, medyo malaki na, you can drain the fluid with needle aspiration. Now, if big, say more than 2 centimeter, you may drain the fluid also with needle aspiration. So kung maliit lang, pwedeng obserbahan lang. Okay? Kung malaki na at nasasaktan, pwedeng i-drain with needle aspiration. No operation, open removal of the cyst is needed. Okay? Medications, walang gamot ito. No? Remember this, no medicine is needed because there are a lot of physicians, no, they usually give medications, no? Okay, some would give the very expensive hormonal therapy. Okay, so you don't need medication for this. You just observe the macrocysts, just like the microcysts. Sometimes they decrease in size. They may disappear. Okay, especially when the patient reaches menopause. So this is an illustration of a needle aspiration of a macrocyst. So the cyst is located here near the nipple. So using a needle and a syringe, we just aspirated it. Okay, we obtained 30 cc of dark fluid, gray fluid, aspirated from a big macrocyst of the breast. Okay, so yung mga nakakapalang saka malalaki, ang kinagamitan ng needle aspiration. So if the fluid has been aspirated completely at wala kang nakakapa, most likely it's a macrocyst. Macrocyst ang tawag. The color can be gray, brown, like this. Okay. Sometimes it's watery, transparent. Sometimes it's greenish. Sometimes it's a little whitish. No? Okay. But usually it's not red. Kung red, baka ibang usapan na ito. No? Baka blood kasi, it might be cancer kung red. No? Now let's go to the second subtopic of this one, is the fibrocystic changes. Closely related or associated with breast cysts are the so-called fibrocystic changes, or FCC. FCC are also theorized to be associated with hormonal changes in the breast. The cyst of FCC, when you say fibrocystic changes, so you have the cyst component in that name, cyst, and the FCC are the microcysts of the breast cyst. Okay? Microcyst yung sinasabi natin kanina. Macro, micro. Yung sa fibrocystic, usually malilit lang siya. And the F, the F means fibro. These are the fibrous tissue reactions, and these are not mass, and these are also associated with hormonal changes. So FCC, to summarize, is characterized by fibrous changes and also microscopic changes in the breast with non-dominant mass. Pag meron tayo nakapang macrocyst, you can have a fibrocystic change and then concomitant with a macrocyst because yung microcystic component ay lumaki into a macrocyst. Yeah, it's a combination of fibrocystic changes and macrocyst. Pwede yun. Kung walang macrocyst, we just call it fibrocystic changes. So on palpation, for a fibrocystic change, the breast usually feel bumpy, humpy, lumpy, irregular surface, but no dominant mass. Wala talagang bukol. Makakapa sa fibrocystic changes. So ito yung illustration ng dominant mass. The dominant mass is like this. It stands out. It's different from the surrounding tissues. Maumbok siya, no? By palpation. Kuminsan, pag malaki pa, makikita na sa surface. Okay? Okay. Whereas in the fibrocystic changes, this is the skin, this is the fat layer, and then this is the breast proper. Usually hindi siya smooth ang surface, irregular. No? Pero wala siyang dominant mass. When you have such a situation, we call that fibrocystic changes, or if you want to describe it in layman terms, you call it lumpy, humpy, bumpy breast surface, but no dominant mass. Okay. A closer look here. So, irregular breast surface, walang dominant mass, we call that fibrocystic changes. Kung may bukol, you just focus on the bukol. So it could be a macrocyst or baka cancer siya or other types of tumors. Okay. So once you have a dominant mass, it's a red flag. Another illustration here, the rib, the muscle, the fatty breast tissue, the nipple. Okay. Now in fibrocystic changes, you can have this, ito yung mga fibrous and then cystic component, microcyst component in the changes. Okay. Another illustration, this is a normal breast. And then in fibrocystic, you can have swelling of the mammary glands, no, because of hormonal changes. And then you can have fibrosis, and then you can have small cysts in this area. Okay. Fibrocystic changes and breast cysts are hormonal changes. Pareho lang sila. Fibrous changes and cystic changes constitute the fibrocystic changes, with the cyst being microcyst. So when you say fibrocystic changes, yung cyst component noon ay microcyst. Maliit lang siya. Usually less than 1 centimeter. Hindi siya makakapa as a cyst. Okay? If the microcyst enlarged to become palpable, lumaki siya, let's say 1 centimeter or more, 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, then they become the so-called macrocyst. And when you say macrocyst, usually it's called the simple cyst. And usually it's not cancer, it's not associated with, it does not become cancer. Okay? So key information on fibrocystic changes, again, hormonal changes sila, usually bilateral because pag may hormonal changes, usually affected yung the two breasts are affected. But kumisan, one breast and one area in the breast or several areas in the breast may be more prominent than the rest. Now, on palpation, it feels humpy, bumpy, lumpy, but no dominant mass. You may have pain symptoms. Importante ito, pag may pain at meron kang fibrocystic changes, most likely it is fibrocystic changes. Basta walang dominant mass. Yung mga may dominant mass na walang kirot, mas nakakatakot yun. No? Okay, just remember that. Kumisan, mas maganda yung may pain as long as there's no dominant mass. Symptoms and feel of the breast may fluctuate during menstrual period because it's due fibrocystic changes are due to hormonal changes kaya nagbabago during the menstrual period. Again, 99% are non-cancerous or benign, and it can be considered as normal medical condition in female breast. So when you are given a label of diagnostic label of fibrocystic changes, just think of it normal lang yon. Okay? Normal siya. 99% do not become cancer, meaning 99% have no risk of becoming breast cancer. Treatment, none, just like in the microcyst, simple cyst, no treatment usually, just watch and wait. Okay. Medications, none, except for analgesics if needed. Okay. Pwedeng wala. No? Okay. So, tandaan niyo, wala. No? None. No? So, how to recognize and diagnose breast cysts and fibrocystic changes? Usually by palpation of the breast, either by the patient, by the person herself, or by a physician. So, pag kinapa ng isang tao at isang doktor na walang dominant mass, even if there is breast pain, okay, your diagnosis is fibrocystic changes. And you can say, it's still a normal process and it's due to hormonal changes. Palpation, okay. If it's positive for dominant mass, kung may bukol talaga, okay, regardless of the size, but it is cystic on palpation. When you say it's cystic on palpation, pag dinidiin nyo yung bukol, yung mass dinidiin nyo sa balat, no? At lumulubog, depressible, then you call that macrocyst. Macrocyst. Okay? If it's not depressible, then most likely it's solid. Ibang usapan na yun, no? Okay. Note that microcysts cannot be palpated by the finger because it's too small. Okay. So only ultrasound can reliably identify the so-called microcyst. Now, how to feel when given a diagnosis of breast cyst and fibrocystic changes? So pag binigyan kayo ng diagnosis of breast cyst, fibrocystic changes, no? Okay, this is how you should be feeling. Okay, number one, this should allay your initial anxiety of not knowing what you have. You can say, hooray, butit na lang, breast cyst lang, hindi siya cancer, fibrocystic changes lang, okay na yun. No? So do not be anxious anymore because both breast cysts and fibrocystic changes are not cancer diagnosis and 99% of no risk to become cancer. So okay na matakot. So furthermore, do not be anxious anymore because both conditions, strictly speaking, can be considered normal or expected medical conditions that may disappear, may decrease in size, okay? And that usually do not need treatment. Hindi kailangan gamutin. Na? Okay. Yung masakit na masakit lang, bibigyan ng konting gamot for pain. Yung mga malalaki ng macrocyst na masakit, i-aspirate lang. No? That's the most that one can do. Okay. So just observe, monitor, watch and wait. Do regular monthly breast self-exam. Have a consultation and regular checkup with a breast specialist pa rin. Okay? Don't jump to mammography and ultrasound unless advised by a breast specialist. Kung ang diagnosis ng breast specialist is breast cyst, fibrocystic changes, usually we don't need mammography and ultrasound anymore, just observe. Okay? Do not take any medications for hormonal control and supplements. Kasi makikita mo dyan, maraming doktor na prescribe ng mga hormonal because they think it's due to hormonal changes, pero let the hormonal changes, let it be, kusang makokontrol naman yon, no? And then you don't need any supplements for that. Then, pag masakit lang, na hindi mo makayang tiisin, then you can take analgesics, no? Kahit na paracetamol, pwede na, no? Wag yung mga mamahalin na gamot, no? So, summary and takeaway in this pep talk, I have discussed the following: what is a breast cyst, what are fibrocystic changes, how to recognize and diagnose breast cysts and fibrocystic changes, and what and how to feel when given a diagnosis of breast cyst and fibrocystic changes. Takeaway in relation to patient empowerment, be always in touch with reliable medical information on breast cyst and fibrocystic changes. Knowledge is power, it gives power. Use the 4Ks of patient empowerment, kaalaman, kakayanan, karapatan, and kapangyarihan to gain greater control over decisions and make better decisions at the management of breast cyst and fibrocystic changes as part of your health management. With that, I end my pep talk today on breast cyst and fibrocystic changes. I hope I have empowered you to have an essential understanding on breast cyst and fibrocystic changes as part of your health management. Before we go to the QA portion, reminder, please take the OLETE and get this perfect score to get a certificate like this. I have placed the link in the chat box. 25 OLETE certificates will entitle one mentee to a voucher for a RO Hoson medical consultation, either face-to-face or telemedical. And then type in your feedback in the chat box during the open forum and before we adjourn. So let's now have a group picture taking before we start the question and answer and interaction. Please turn on your video now. Okay. One, two, three. Just save it first. Okay. The floor is now open for questions, comments, anything, and then, okay, consultations. Okay. Short consultations will do. Okay. Any questions?
Susan.
Okay, Susan. Go ahead, Susan.
Yes. So, is it advisable to have mammography every year, or which is better, mammography or breast ultrasound?
It depends on what you want to look for. If you want to look for yung mga micro-calcifications that will tell you that it could be a cancer, yung mga non-palpable na bukol na could be cancer, then you do mammography. No? Kasi hindi makikita sa ultrasound yon. No? But you want to assess isang possible, yung bukol na nakakapa mo, hindi ka sigurado kung talagang bukol, o kaya may nakakapang bukol, hindi ka rin sigurado kung ano siya talaga, kung cancer o hindi, then you use the ultrasound. Okay? All depends on the kung ano ang purpose ng examination mo. No? Okay. So kung your question is yearly, ganon, no, it's not. No, I suggest that you do it only, number one, as indicated, kung meron kang kung yung ikaw at yung doktor mo may suspecha that something is wrong there, that you have to investigate further, then you do either the mammo or the ultrasound. Or another situation, yung commonly used now is for the screening. Ibig sabihin, you want to have a parang check-up whether you have cancer, wala kang nararamdaman, you just want to know kung meron kang hidden breast cancer doon. No? So, yun yung screening. So, yung screening, in other countries, iba-iba yung recommendations when you screen for breast cancer. Some would start at age 50, some would start at age of 40, 45. Iba-iba yung even in other countries, yung mga ibang countries ngayon, they don't really push for the screening test for breast cancer like mammography. So, example would be Switzerland, sinasabi niya, ano na lang, depende na rin sa examination ng breast by the lay people or by the doctors. Then, it's up to the doctor to suggest whether they need a screening test. Hindi siya compulsory. But in other countries like Canada, in social medicine, they usually encourage sa mga breast screening, no? So kung minsan sulatan pa yung mga citizen nila na you're supposed to at a certain age, let's say sa Canada, usually kung 50, no, usually they will ask for a mammography once a year, no? Ganon, no? Okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Doc.
Okay. Any more?
Doc, good afternoon, Emily.
Emily, yeah, okay.
Oo. Doc, ito, ilang beses ko na tinanong sa'yo dati. Pag na-history ng breast cancer sa family, what is your recommended screening?
Yung
If kung meron history ng breast cancer sa family, what is your recommended screening aside from BSC?
aside from
Breast self-exam.
Okay. Okay. Napuputol eh. It's okay. Sorry. Kung if you have a sa akin, if you have a it all depends on how strong is the family history. Kung very strong, let's say 2 sisters or 1 mother, 1 daughter, let's say a breast cancer, you go for screening, no? Okay. Now, if not, kung isa lang, you can opt for a breast self-examination, no? And then a regular clinical examination by a physician, no? By a breast specialist, no? Okay. That's my personal opinion, but the other doctors would go for a screening mammography kahit na walang family history, that they just use the age, no? Sabi nila kung 40, 50, as I said kanina, in some countries they use 40 as the cutoff. Some countries use 45, some countries use 50, no? Okay. So it all depends on your perceptions of the importance of the cancer screening. But pinaka-basic doon is breast self-exam, no? Yan ang pinaka-importante doon, breast self-examination, no? Okay. Okay? Emily?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Oo. Doc, isa pang question.
Sure.
You mentioned kanina yung mga fibrocystic changes usually occur pag parang hindi ka pa prior to being menopausal. Pero pag menopausal pa na, wala nang mga changes, fibrocystic changes or something.
Not all. Pero kumisan kasi yung di ba yung mga menopause age kumisan mahirap din i-predict yung absolute age, di ba? Iba-iba, no? So, ganun din, kahit na menopause ka, kumisan meron ka rin fibrocystic changes pa rin, no? Ang bottom line na pinaka-importante doon, basta wala kang dominant mass. Yan ang hanahanapin mo, no? Kung walang dominant mass at kahit na may pain, usually I usually conclude with a diagnosis of fibrocystic change na lang. Fibrocystic change. You really don't know what's going on inside the breast, di ba? If you don't look at the inside, no? But on palpation, you just say it's a fibrocystic changes, no? Then just observe na lang. Watch and wait. Regardless of age, ha? Okay. Yung mga age na nakalagay doon, mga 30 to 50, those are just parang observation lang yan, but these are not absolute, no? You can have fibrocystic changes at younger than 30, you can have fibrocystic changes older than 50, no? Pwede pa rin, no? Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any more questions? Any more? If I will ask everybody, how many have fibrocystic changes? Yung mga babae rito. Okay. Susan, you have?
Yeah.
Sino pa? I suppose lahat, di ba? Yeah, Emily, di ba? I suppose all of you have, yeah, but this is just a little tricky question. All of you have hormonal changes in your breast, no? Kahit wala kayong nakakapa, you have fibrocystic changes, no? So you can say that all of you have fibrocystic changes, no? Okay. As I said, when you say fibrocystic changes, it can be equated as normal. Normal na rin yan, no? Okay, normal hormonal changes, no? Okay. Ang nakakatakot lang naman dyan, kung meron kayong nakakapang dominant mass, then you have to differentiate it from cancer. Kung yung mass na nakakapa natin is cystic, then we call that macrocyst. Okay. If it's not cystic, solid ang kapa, then you start thinking of possible cancer. No? Okay. So, but not all solid masses are breast cancer. So it all depends on the characteristics of the mass that you are able to palpate. Sabihin natin matigas na matigas, no? Solid at nakadikit sa balat, no? At may nipple retraction, then we start thinking of suspecting breast cancer. No? Okay. Okay. So all of you have fibrocystic changes. How many of you have macrocyst? Yan ang next questions. Sinong na-aspirate na? Wala pa. Okay. Wala, no? All of you. Oh, okay. Most of you present here have solid mass which were breast cancer before. No? Okay. Sino ba? Kay Jeng. Jeng yung sa'yo is solid mass, pero benign siya. Okay?
Yes po, Doc. Fibroadenoma po.
Fibroadenoma. Okay. So, pag solid siya, it could be benign, malignant. So, it depends on the characteristics. Pero luckily, it turned out to be benign fibroadenoma. No?
Yes po.
Okay. Okay. Si Recuenco, thank you for attending, Recuenco.
Good afternoon po, Doc.
Ano yung first name mo, Chris?
Josephine po, kay Angela po itong Zoom.
I'm trying to recall yung ano mo, yung
Doc,
Facebook.
pwede po ba magpa-consult sa Tuesday?
Sure.
Sige po.
Ano yung Facebook name mo? Chris
Ibab ko po.
Ikab. No?
Opo.
Yeah. So
Mag-message po ako, Doc.
can you share with us your experience?
Yeah, I have this semi-annual check-up by recommended ng inyo po at saka ng Obisono ko na twice a year watch lang yung aking solid mass in my right breast. Pero yes, nung the other day nagpa-breast ultrasound po ako. Nakalagay naman doon well-defined margins.
Okay.
Pero Doc, solid mass po yung nakalagay.
Okay.
And homogeneous echo pattern, parang ganun.
Okay.
So yun po yung ipapacheck up po ako sa Tuesday po sa inyo.
Okay. Okay, in relation to, ikwento ko na lang in relation to the question of Susan, how often, ganon. So, ang suggestion ko, if you don't need it, don't go for it. Kasi minsan, if you do a lot of tests, which, well, kahit kung wala kayong nakakapa, you might end up with a lot of false alarm. No? Okay. Parang kay Josephine, no, I think nagpa-ultrasound ka at may lumabas na BIRADS4 na, di ba? BIRADS sampling. So that's a very parang alarming na report, no? Okay. So usually nire-report nila as solid masses. No? So, pag solid mass, kasi ang ultrasound, we have to know yung how ultrasonographer make report. Yung kahit na yung mga fibrous na yon, nire-report nila as bukol. Pero in reality, these are just fibrous tissue, no? Hindi talagang bukol, no?
Mhm.
So, yan ang dapat malaman ng mga lay people. Okay, there's a discrepancy there's a problem in the communication, no? Okay. Kasi the ultrasonographer, they always use masses for fibrous. Yung fibrous naman, hindi naman talagang bukol eh. No? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So paano Dok nalalaman pag solid or fibrous? Kung
Number one,
laging
yung
solid ang
ultrasound, nakikita mo lang itong problema sa ultrasound. No? Yung ultrasound kasi they use sound waves, no? Sound waves to go into the breast. Tapos may lumalabas na mga picture kung ano, kung solid or cystic, no? Depending on kung ilan how much is the echo being produced, di ba? Okay. So pag may na-produce na sila ng parang hypoechoic na kulang yung ano, they would say parang bukol, no? Parang bukol, no? So they don't use the word fibrous, no? So outright they say it's a bukol. Kasi when you say bukol naman, nakakatakot palagi, di ba?
Mhm.
Bukol. Pero in reality, these are not really bukol, no? Okay. So yan ang you have to know the habit of the doctors, no? How they report, no? Yeah, pag sinabing solid na masses pero wala kang nakakapa, fibrous 'yon. Usually fibrous. No, usually, no? Okay. So it's only the clinician like me, no, who palpate your breast who will tell you, no, kung ano talaga siya, no? Okay.
Okay.
Sa ultrasound kasi maraming nakikita eh. May nakikita, maraming nakikita, no? Okay. Kung sinabi niyang cystic, wala ka ng problema, no? Pero pag sinabi niyang solid, yun, doon nagsisimula yung ano, yung mga anxiety attacks na ninyo. Papasok na yun, no? Sabi
Mhm.
nila, probably, kung some would say probably BI-RADS 3, but probably benign, pero with the word probably, hindi ka pa rin kampante, di ba? Kasi hindi ka sigurado. Pag kaysa sabihin niya, benign. In BI-RADS 2 kasi benign kagad, di ba?
Mhm. Mhm.
Kaya sabihin niya, most likely benign, hindi pa rin sigurado, may konting question pa, di ba? Pag sinabi niyang benign, outright, wala ka ng takot, di ba? Okay. So when you have a fibrocystic changes which are not real mass, may fibrous changes which are not real mass, you can say normal. Okay? Ako, pwede ko sabihin sa iyo kapalang, no? Wala kang makapang bukol, sasabihin ko sa iyo normal, no? Pero pag nag-ultrasound ka, may nakitang yung tinatawag na solid, sasabihin nila probably benign. No? Hindi nila sasabihin sa iyo benign.
Mhm.
Kaya may mga may kahit na paano matatakot ka pa rin kasi probably hindi pa 100% sure, di pa 99% sure, di ba? Okay. Okay. So
Okay po. Thank you, Doc.
so so this is the idiosyncrasy in the interpretation of the ultrasound. Yung mga sinasabi nilang solid masses pero wala kang nakakapa, usually fibrous 'yon, fibrous. Okay, fibrocystic 'yon, no? Okay. So when I tell you it's fibrocystic, no, I'll tell you benign siya, no? Okay? That observation na lang, no? Okay?
Okay. Thank you po, Doc.
Any more? Anybody who wants to share their experiences on the topic? Wala pang na-aspirate, no? Wala pang. Pero all of you have fibrocystic changes, and some of you have also breast cancer. Okay. Those who have breast cancer usually solid, may dominant mass, no? May nakapa tayong dominant mass, kaya kayo naoperahan, no? Okay. Okay. Last call for questions.
Doc,
Okay.
Doc, may sasabihin po ako.
Bilet.
Noong pong 1988, parang na-diagnose din po ako ng gano'n, yung fibrocystic changes. Mas parang na-aspirate din po, hindi ko agad kayo na-antay agad ako nakapag-share kanina. Aspirate ho, tapos so, ang result nga ay benign. Pero after 30 years so, na-diagnose naman ng ng stage 2.
Okay.
Ito nagkagano.
Okay. Hindi no, kasi yung cans 30 years after, tama?
Oho, 1988 ho yung fibrocystic changes.
Okay.
So, a liquid po yung natanggal, nag-aspirate po.
May liquid na tanggal. So,
Liquid ho, may liquid.
so macrocyst ang tawag doon.
Oho.
Okay. Pag may fluid, kasi paano inaspirate nila? Ultrasound guided? Ultrasound guided?
Parang may, hindi ho.
Wala,
Parang may,
diretso na.
hindi ko na
Diretso.
matandaan.
Diretso.
Diretso na ho. Diyan din ako nagpaano sa Manila Doctors. Dr. Nadal. Matagal ho yun.
Okay. Kung diretso, nakapa mo, macrocyst na tawag doon. Pag na
Oho.
fluid na nakuha mo, no? Okay.
Mhm.
Kung di mo nakakapa at may nakuha kang fluid, usually ano lang yon, yung sa what do you call that? Through the ultrasound, no? Okay, microcyst yun, micro, no? Okay. So ang tanong mo, bakit nagkaganon, benign siya, fibrocystic noon, macrocyst noon, bakit after 30 years nagkaroon ka ng breast cancer? Di ba? Yan ang tanong
Yes
mo.
po.
Okay.
Oho.
Na ganun talaga ang buhay. It doesn't mean that benign ngayon, in the future, hindi ka magde-develop ng breast cancer. No? Ganon.
Mhm.
So, that's why I said, yung fibrocystic changes mo noon, macrocyst, microcyst, normal ka noon. Wala pang breast cancer. No?
Mhm.
Okay. So, over the years, may tumubo. No? 30 years
Opo.
after, may tumubo. No?
Mhm.
Yeah, when you have fibrocystic changes, it is at the moment. Okay? So importante kahit na may diagnosis ka ng fibrocystic changes, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung monitoring ng breast ninyo through monthly breast self-exam. No? Okay. Kaya yan ang that's why I usually advocate monthly breast self-examination because that's the only thing that you can do for the rest of your life at wala namang gastos na kaysa mag-yearly mammo, yearly ultrasound, no? Kadalasan may mga false alarms, no? Matatakot lang kayo, no? Okay. So just do your breast self-exam meticulously, religiously. Pag may nakapa, pa-consult ka agad, no? Okay. And pag
Sige po, Doc.
may nakapa, may duda, then that's time ultrasound and mammo can be done to further study yung whatever na nakapa, no? Okay.
Sige po. Thank you po, Doc.
Okay. Any more? We still have 2 minutes. Ladies? Yeah. Unmute. Unmute.
Yun po bang term na internal inclusion cyst? First time ko lang pong marinig yun nung college ako, nung after your graduation. Internal inclusion cyst. Ano po yun? Micro, macro cyst?
Saan yun? Sa breast?
Opo.
Internal inclusion cyst. Internal.
Kasi ganito, similar po yung experience ng kasama natin. Nung pagka-graduate ko, sinamahan ko lang po yung classmate ko na magpatingin. Nakisabay na rin ako. Yung result, sabi, internal inclusion cyst. Sa PGH po ito, kagagraduate ko lang 1971. Yung benign, no problem, sabi nung doctor. So, after 28 years, nung 1999, na-diagnose po ako ng carcinoma, ductal invasive carcinoma.
Okay.
So, yun hubang cyst noon, May kaugnayan ho ba sa after 20 years?
Kung
May,
20,
may, rela- may relation po.
kung 20 years,
28 years pala.
28 years,
1971 tapos
most likely wala. Most likely wala. No? Kung 1 year
wala.
1 year after, baka nagkamali lang interpretation. No? Okay. Kung 28 years after, most likely you have the same situation as kay Belet. No? Okay. Normal
Opo, opo.
fibrocystic, it's part of fibrocystic changes pa rin, no? But over 28 years,
Fibrosis.
may lumabas na breast cancer, no? Okay. Kaya importante nga yung monitoring ng breast for the rest of your
So-
life, no? Ganon. Okay?
Okay.
So we don't know when breast cancer,
Thank you po.
we don't know when breast cancer will develop in a particular person, di ba? Kahit na 90 years old, 80 years old, pwede pa rin tamaan, no? Okay. So, importante yung self-examination of the entire body, hindi lang breast, ha? Do not be too obsessed with just breast, no? Okay. Do self-examination of your entire body. Kasi kung nakafocus lang kayo sa breast, baka yun pala, meron pa kayo ibang organs na tinamaan, di ba? So, makakalimutan ninyo, no? Parang sa thyroid, kakapa-kapain din yung thyroid ninyo, no? Okay. Okay. Self-examination is very important, no? As part of health promotion, no? Okay. At early diagnosis, no? Okay. Any more? Okay. There are no more questions. Last call. No more. Wala na. Okay. So let's call it a day. We'll see each other next week again. No? Okay. Ang topic next week will be gallbladder ngayon. Gallbladder stones. No? Okay. Gallbladder stones, yung mga non-medical treatment. Non-medical treatment. Yung naririnig kayo mga apple flushing, yung mga ganon. Maraming
Ayun.
bigay, no? So I'll be explaining those things next week. No? Okay. So if there are no more
Thank you,
questions,
Doc.
call it a day. We'll see each other.
Thank you po.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
Thank
po.
you,
Thank you,
Doc.
Doc.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
po.
Thank you po.